I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan, no fighting tonight.
Poppin' knock it when I met you, shorty had the long extension. Told her I'm a rapping, but I only got the best intention. Tough, not a bluffer. I want you to be my lead, don't have to take it undercover. Just under the bells are ringing, people singing, rice is throwing flower, bringing.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. One team comes in off a victory, the other comes in off a defeat. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay at Oakland, California. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in off a loss last time out, but overall they've been playing well. 6 wins and 8 prior to that defeat. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Michigan State Spartan, Connor Cook.
I love looking at the backgrounds of some of these players. Connor Cook comes from a very athletic family. It's no accident that he became the player that he is. Dad played college football, mom volleyball, sister college basketball. The athletic genes are in his family.
They go play action here on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Well, sometimes we talk running backs, sometimes we talk wide receivers. Walford, the tight end in this unit, very important.
Clive Walford, a terrific player. Knows how to work the inside portions of the field, but also can surprise you and get deep.
10 yards still left on second down. Throwing, Cook, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time, and it's third down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now Cook. Here's Walford over the middle. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Let's go!
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying. Be on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A gutsy call by Jack Del Rio, but it does not pay off. And this defense holds on the night's opening drive. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Here's Lynch to throw. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
All right, now look at 56. Look at 56. All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So a fantastic effort by Murray, a kid born in Orlando, went to high school in New York, but came back to Orlando to go to Central Florida. You're from Orlando, Mr. Davis.
Yes, I am, and actually grew up in New York State as well, so I knew I liked this young man. And the stock and trade for him, speed. Give him some open space, and he can blaze a trail.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They come out here in the eye. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time in the pocket, and that is incomplete. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders. Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. A look now at the Oakland defense as they get ready. They got the stop last time that resulted in a punt, and then it resulted in 3 for their offense.
And this is one time where the defense won't get credit for creating points, but that's exactly what they did. All right, forced them into a punt, turned it over to their offense, and guess what? Points went on the board.
Points went on the board, 3 of them. Now they'll be looking for another stop. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. The shotgun, it's Lynch. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Virgil Green is tight end, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, here's Lynch. He goes underneath for Anderson, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Ben Heaney with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. This will be taken at the 10. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Second down following the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So 3rd and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Throwing here, Lynch on first down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Benny Fowler that time. That'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Finding his target, it's Cody Latimer. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. A fake to Anderson. Now it's Lynch. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he couldn't make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now.
Cook. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Backing up. And his throw here's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll make it third down. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Throwing, Cook. Brought in by Walford, right side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Play clock winding down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The quarterback, Paxton Lynch, he's the focus of our players' spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target, and it's second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That'll give them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And now it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run.
Let's go. 3-19.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. It's from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the defensive unit for the Broncos. They trot back out there. And a really nice job last time. Offense had great field position, but they were able to hold them just 4 plays, and they had to hit the field goal.
We saw the benefits of practice there from the defense, though, didn't we? Because most teams, when they got that type of field position that they have to start defense on, they treat it almost like what we call sudden change. You know, after a turnover or a big kick return, whatever that is, you tell the guys, listen, you got to bow up. You got to get in there. Make sure you don't give up any more than a field goal.
They bowed up all right. We'll see if they bow up again.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
When we talk about Aqib Talib, technique is not the word that comes to mind, but don't worry about that. This guy anticipates as well as anyone in the league, and he did just that, picking off another pass.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now Lynch to throw. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch.
Defense.
So the defensive holding penalty here, Charles.
You get outside of 5 yards downfield and you get grabby with an offensive player, the flag will come out every time.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. And this one complete to Virgil Green. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Lynch on 1st down. And hauled in here by Jordan Norwood. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. And he's got it, complete to Fowler. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up
Towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Once again, it's Lynch. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Virgil Green in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And with time running short here, so we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Raiders haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Broncos have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Now 1st and 10. Here the throw is hurried and picked off. Talib since happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive. After the pick, offense comes out now. Lynch has got the connection across the middle, and it's going to be caught for the touchdown. The Broncos go up by 11.
So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. It's caught. He finds Norwood. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back. In that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here we go. Green, 39.
From the red zone now, here's Lynch on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. First and goal, defense with their back. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's C.J. Anderson who tops it off with the touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing, Cook. That escapes the sand. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. That was second down run for Murray. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On second down, Anderson. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position now more than ever is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You got to feel a little bit for the defense there. They've done a terrific job all day long holding this guy in check. But that might have been the run to break things out for him, maybe turn things around. Now he's going to have some confidence, and maybe he'll get to his normal yardage.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a give running left with Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now in the East Bay. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. Now 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. This is taken at the 23. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Raiders will take possession. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And Roberts with it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And quickly they get to the line.
Here we go now.
Now Cook. Here's Wolford over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They'll look to throw again. And he whips that one incomplete there. Intended that time for Cooper, and it's 3rd down.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. One receiver to the left is Cooper.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 13 yards that time of the first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands, That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
On first, here's Washington. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now first and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. The reigning Super Bowl MVP, Von Miller, in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle. Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it. And that's going to be a tall order against this defense. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Raider defense now, here they are as they get ready to trot back onto the field. They're hoping to do what they did last time, force another punt. Last time it resulted in a field goal. We'll see if they can get another stop here, though.
And the best defenses are in the business of preventing points and creating points. And that's exactly what these guys did on their last possession. Why? Because they got off the field on 3 and out, turned the ball over to their offense after the punt, and let them roll downfield and put the ball through the post for a field goal.
Now Lynch. And he gets it complete to Latimer. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
They come out here in the eye. Lynch looking to throw on second. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ben Heaney in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. On 3rd down, Lynch. And Latimer's got it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
In the backfield is Anderson. Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And he's got it, complete to Fowler. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
10th carry now for Anderson. And he got blown up, losing yardage on. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. Fighting through. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And it's taken in at the 9. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now Cook. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. Throwing, Cook. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Third down and 5.
Lucky 56. Set, 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Brought in by Walford, right side. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green.
They go play action here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On play action, they'll throw. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Seth Roberts, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders get a score closer. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch in a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for one here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. In the backfield is Anderson. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Here's Anderson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now.
Anderson. And he stopped immediately there. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Broncos, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Oakland.